Good morning and welcome to the May 20th, 2019 edition of the South Carolina Uniform Grading Policy Revision Updates. We are here today to give you the most recent revisions that have been made in the Uniform Grading Policy. I am Sherry Beaver. I am the School Counselor Liaison and Career Specialist Liaison with the Department of Ed with the Office of Student Intervention Services. And with me is Darlene Privat with the Office of Federal and State Accountability. And we are going to just go through a quick overview of some of the history behind what we have done in the last year to update the revisions. And one of the things that we did was gather a stakeholder and consultant group beginning in May through October of 2018. We gathered stakeholders and consultants from the Department of Ed, as well as 20 representatives from school districts across the state, a representative from the South Carolina Technical College System, a representative from the Commission on Higher Education, as well as from the South Carolina Association of Association of Homeschools represented us as well on our stakeholder group. And then in May of 2019, that work was taken to the state board. The changes were proposed and approved, and the implementation now will take place in 2019-2020 school year. So as we get ready for that school year implementation, we wanted to give you updates, and Darlene is going to start by talking to you a little bit about removing the administrative procedures out of the body of the UGP to its separate document. Okay, Darlene?
The uniform grading policy had the grading scale in it, and so we have removed the grading scale and put it into a procedures document. We did that and to enable us to be able to make changes without having to take everything to the state board, so we could make individual little changes that are minor and without having to wait 3 months to make these changes and have them effective immediately. So the UGP Administrative Procedures document will be accessible online, and the links available to the Uniform Grading Policy side by side.
And we're going to look at some of the changes now in some of the language, clarifying language, and we're going to start with Darlene talking with us about the clarifying language with carrying high school units of credit for courses.
Okay, Regulation 43-232, which is the regulation for grades 6 through 8. This is middle level and junior high school. The high school courses can be offered at this level as long as the courses are for in the activity coding system for the student information system. The students can take any of those courses except for physical education and health education courses. And I just want to remind all of the middle school students and the principals that is expected that the students taking high school courses must have mastered the middle school level standards prior to taking the courses for high school credits. The number of high school credits in the middle school, that's a local district decision as to how many courses may be taken. As far as determining honors weighting, no physical education course can be weighted at the honor scale, and so any physical education course, including marching band, ROTC, or any other course that may be approved in the future for physical education, may receive honors weighting, and this is a new addition to the uniform grading policy.
And moving on to the dual credit course section of the UGP, really there was just some clarifying language added or deleted and updating some terminology. One of the words that we removed from this was the word articulation. Instead of using that term now, we use the word dual credit agreement. And of course that is that agreement between partner institutions of higher education with the high schools offering those courses, whether it be a 2-year or 4-year college or a technical college. Those are your partners that you will need to specify both the courses you're teaching alongside their offerings, and then any associated procedures that you're going to allow to take place inside that agreement needs to be spelled out. And as well as in the grade reporting section of dual credit courses, the main change here is that the institutions of higher education shall provide documentation of the final grades to the high school in the form of an official secure grade report. That is just a clarifying statement that needed to be added to make the procedure a little clearer as far as reporting grades. And then in the section that we've added some clarification here called the State Approved Advanced Learning Opportunities. That is a new term being included in the UGP that includes Advanced Placement, International Baccalaureate, as well as ACE courses, that's the Advanced International Certificate of Education courses. Any additional approved curriculum later on that the board may approve may fall under this Advanced Learning Opportunity course category, but it may include any of the courses offered online that are approved, as well as non-traditional setting courses that may be approved. And it just is going to say that in here that this is going to be regulated as far as accepting and regulating those courses on the transcript. And that's all in Regulation 43-273 if you want to review that as well.
Okay, on to converting some grades on transcripts. If the transcript indicates that the student has earned a passing grade in any course in which he or she has had a numerical average lower than 60, so lower than our passing grade, the grade will be recorded as a P on the transcript and follow the guidelines for a P on the transcript. And those guidelines, of course, are going to be in the procedures. Or
in tech notes.
The tech notes that we have now. Okay. If the transcript indicates that the student has earned a failing grade in any course in which he or she has had a numerical average of 60 or above, and so that would be our passing grades that we presently have, the grade will be recorded as an NP on the transcript and follow the guidelines for that. And why do we have this on there? It's because then, therefore, it will be grade neutral for those students and not hurt the student. Okay, for pass and fail grades, if no numerical average can be obtained for a P, an earned grade will be awarded and follow the UGP administrative procedures for a P on the transcript. Again, this is not going to hurt the student, therefore it's grade neutral. If no numerical average can be obtained for the sending institution on F, then an NP will be entered into the transcript and you will follow again the administrative procedures for an NP on the transcript.
In the section in the UGP for non-accredited school grades, including homeschool grades, there's some additional options spelled out here for looking at those transfer credits. Districts are encouraged, of course, to establish their local board policy to address a non-accredited school transfer grade and credit policy there inside your local districts. But we have also added here some suggested options that you may look at for reviewing those incoming credits. Options for validation may include administration of district-approved assessments, examination of student work to include any supporting valid documentation that the student and parent may bring to you with their enrollment. And also you can choose, possibly as an option, assignment of grades of P or NP to the transfer credits, since that is now valid. Those are valid grades included on our UGP grading scale. Or you may have a combination of local board approved options. So all of this is given to the local districts to choose and write those policies. And then also one of the things that you must do, though, when you're looking at that work is, as far as considering for honors credit, is to use the South Carolina Honors Framework to apply to that evidence provided to see if honors credit or honors weighting is up to be approved there. And then finally, in one section called excessive absences, we are clarifying some language here. The local school board shall develop policy on body of evidence that is acceptable to demonstrate for proficiency, and those proficiency policies are written by the local districts. We just eliminated a statement of confusion where it stated that this is without requiring the student to make up seat time. This was a confusing statement that needed to be removed for clarity. And then under retaking a course, we added some, again, clarifying language to say that any student may retake a course at the same level of difficulty if he has earned a D. We've added P, NP, WP, FA, WF, or an F in that course. If the same level of course is not accessible to the student for them to retake it at that same level, the course may be retaken at a different level of rigor. Of course, that would need to be approved by administration. And then also added in this section was the clarity about all course attempts from middle and high school will show on the transcript. Only one course attempt and the highest grade earned for that course will be calculated in the GPA. Again, we reiterate that at the end of this section, saying that for all grade levels, all courses remain on the transcript. Only the highest grade is calculated in the student's GPA. So those are some clarifying language issues that have been cleared up in that section. And then, Darlene, you wanted to address some things in the credit recovery section.
Okay, and in this, eligible credit recovery courses, they're going to have to be aligned to the South Carolina standards. Also, grades. If you have a student passing the credit recovery with a 60 or higher, the passing grade will be entered as a P, as the final grade, and transcribed to the numerical average of 0, as indicated with the P, to the grading scale chart. And you'll notice that those are in the administrative procedures. If a student fails the credit recovery course, and this is what's been added, is that a grade of 60, if the grade is below a 60, then the student will now receive an NP, and that will be transcribed to the numerical value of a 0, as indicated with the NP. That's in the grading scale, and again, that's in the administrative procedures. So the credit recovery courses, just remember with the credit recovery course, again, they do not take the EOC. The only time you take the EOC when you're retaking a course is when you retake the entire course, not on credit recovery itself.
And just some final notes, and Darlene, please jump in and add to this, but we just wanted to make sure that we are sharing this information for you to share with your stakeholders. So please notify your stakeholders that these changes are occurring beginning in the fall of 2019. And then also providing whatever electronic means you have of accessibility for these two documents, both the uniform grading policy and the administrative procedures document, that you would have easy accessibility for both of these documents to be accessed by your stakeholders. Darlene, do you have anything else to add?
Yes, we will have the uniform grading policy as well as the administrative procedures on the state accountability website. And they will be side by side and placed there. So please be on the lookout for those on the State Accountability website.
And then if you have questions, as always, you know how to find us. Here's our email addresses. Darlene, those questions about accountability would come to her office. And then any school counseling questions you may have, please send those to me, and we will be glad to help you. Have a great end of your school year, and let us know if we can help you in any way.